Hello, welcome to Mind the Moment and another do-it-yourself video production. This is a recording for mindful chair yoga. It's particularly useful for people who can't get down to the floor or can't get back up. Can still get all the benefits of yoga, but it's also useful for other people as well. It's a complete yoga practice. So if even if you can get down to the floor, there may be times that you would just like to do something a little bit different or something that's a little bit more accessible in your location. Just like our other yoga practices, mindful chair yoga is meant to be a moving meditation, and our purpose is to bring awareness to the experience of being in the body as we move, noticing what comes up in the way of physical sensation, the effect that it has on mood and energy, just really being in the present moment. So let's arrive, take a moment to come into place wherever you are, looking around, getting a sense of your environment, what's coming to you through the senses. Letting go of thinking about the past or the future and getting ready to be here now. If it feels okay for you, allowing your eyes to drift closed. Feeling the breath moving in the body and beginning to notice the internal landscape. Posture and energy. Places that feel comfortable, places that feel tight or tense. Taking a nice breath in and letting go of some of that tightness. Breathing in, bringing attention to the top of the head. And with the out breath, allowing the face to soften. Letting go of tightness around the eyes. Letting the jaw soften and relax. Checking in at the shoulders. The arms heavy and relaxed. And now breathing in. Maybe allowing a wave of softness to pass down the back of the body. The out breath is always a great vehicle for relaxation. Softening across the belly and the hips. The weight of the body sinking into the chair. The legs at rest. And the feet in contact with the floor. Taking a moment to feel the natural breath. And then beginning to breathe intentionally, coming into the full yogic breath. As we inhale, allowing the belly to swell out, pressing in with the abdominal muscles as we exhale. At your own pace, breathing in and out, the belly expanding and contracting, starting to wake the body up from the inside. More alert at the core. And we'll begin a movement practice, beginning to loosen various parts of the body and bringing awareness to what it's like to move each part. So with the hands at heart center, let's breathe in and extend the arms upward. With the exhale, floating the arms back. Breathing in as they go up and around and back to heart center. Breathing in and out and in and out. Now let's take the arms up again. We'll steeple the fingers and do a little lateral bending from side to side, beginning to waken the muscles along the sides of the body, letting the strength of the belly and the back control the movement from side to side. And back to center. Let's move now into the joint freeing series, which is a series of movements that loosen and wake up all the joints of the body, getting us ready and able to move safely as we get into more active practices. So taking the attention down to the feet, let's begin to bend and flex. Sometimes there's crackling involved, circling. We'll put the joints through a whole menu of things that they're capable of doing. Now let's change direction, taking the circles the opposite way. And we'll wiggle the toes, press the edges of the feet together, and bend the feet toward each other. Something like a little prayer pose for the feet. Let's loosen the knees, swinging them forward and back. And from side to side. Maybe sensing that movement in the hip joints. And out here a little bit closer to the front of the chair. Let's erect the spine and draw one leg in. We'll see if we can get the knees loosened up. Now extending the leg out, reaching out actively through the heel. And then actively out through the toe. Now the last time that we do this, let's make it an isometric movement, which will really invigorate the whole body. So gather your knee in, fingers interlaced around the front of the knee. We'll breathe in. And as we exhale, pull in with the hands as you push forward with the knee. Feel the tightening of the core, tightening of the upper arms. And when you're done with your breath out, release. A little bit more awake. Now let's gather the other side in. We're reaching out through the heel. And gathering it in. Reaching out through the toe. And now the isometric move. Breathing in. And then as we breathe out, engaging, pushing and pulling at the same time, tightening everything. And when you're done with your out breath, releasing. Out here on the front of the chair, let's do some torso circles, loosening the low back, breathing in and out. Your circles might start small, and as the body gradually loosens, maybe things will get bigger, or maybe not. It's always an exploration to see what's available on this particular day at this particular time. Changing direction. And coming back to the middle. Checking in with posture now. Let's roll the shoulders. Let's roll them backwards and then a few times forward. See how it feels to separate the shoulders. Rolling one way and then the other. Where do you feel that? All right. Now another way to loosen up the shoulder joints is to send the arms up to form the letter I, Y, W, T, and O. I, Y, W, T, and O. Feeling into the shoulders. Allowing that to come down. Let's think about head and neck now. As we breathe in, lifting the chin, and with the exhale, letting the chin come back to the center of the chest. Breathing the chin up and down in your own time. Now the chin may come back to center, and when it does, let's move from side to side. Just feeling the edges of your range. A gentle exploration of what's available now. And back to the center. Finally, let's make a big circle with our nose. It's as though you were drawing a big circle right out in front of the body. Circling one way and then the other. Maybe you can feel some stretching along the sides of the neck as you do that too. Now coming back to the center, let's come up to another starting pose. Standing next to the chair, we'll turn the seat to face you and come into the table pose. In floor yoga, we do this down on hands and knees, but on the chair, we can get the same benefit by bending over the chair with arms and legs perpendicular to the floor. Just seeing if you can get your spine fairly level and draw the head up in line with the spine. Feeling the breath. Now let's begin cow and cat. a series of movements that will help to loosen the whole spine. Put a good bend in your knees. And as you breathe in, drop the belly and lift the chin. Reversing that with your out breath, rolling the spine up toward the ceiling. This is a great spinal loosener. Some days it's a very small motion, and some days it gets a little bit more flexible. Rolling that motion up the spine from the tailbone toward the head, and then bringing it back to stillness. Let's see if we can't start to loosen up hips and legs. We'll do a bit of sunbird. So from your table position, let's breathe in and lift one leg out behind, exhaling it back to the floor, alternating sides, breathing in as you lift, exhale the leg back down. Let the legs and the buttocks do the work. And it's always an exploration. Some days your leg will come up at the same height as your spine. Some days that's just not available. It is what it is on any given day, and we're patient with that. Now let's up the ante just a little bit, breathing in as we lift one leg up, and if you feel stable, extending the opposite arm forward. You can feel your back and belly engaging to keep you stable. That's a full sunbird. If you want to do it on the other side of the body, lifting the leg, and when you feel ready, extending the opposite arm forward, holding for a breath or two, and then we'll release and come back to the chair. Finally, let's stretch the back of the legs. Take one leg out behind and press the heel down into the floor. Perhaps you'll feel a real stretch down the calf, the Achilles tendon. Taking a moment to sense into that, to soften into it. And we'll trade legs, dropping the other leg back, pressing the heel into the floor. And releasing. When you feel ready to come up off your hands, you can set your chair aside and we'll do a little bit of standing work. Coming to your standing mountain pose. This is an erect posture, but it's also soft. The knees are not locked. The shoulders are back, but also not locked. Warming up the muscles of the legs, let's widen our stance and step out to one side and come down to a gentle temple squat. And then back to the center, stepping out to the opposite side, back to center, warming up the big quad muscles. Just one or two more times. Sometimes this is a good place to notice the judging quality of the mind, telling us that something feels good or it doesn't. Let's do a little yoga flow. Salute to the moon. Standing with our heart in the middle, our hands at heart center. Let's breathe in, and with the out breath, drop the hands down, breathing in as we trace the shape of the full moon. Exhale to the shape of the quarter moon. back to center, over to the other side, and back to the middle. Now stepping out into a wide-legged stance that's called goddess. Feeling the strength and stability of that pose and taking it to the 5-point star. We'll breathe in and exhale to the shape of the half moon and back. Half moon to the other side and back. Now we're going to do a forward bend, taking one side of the body over to the other side. So bending at the hip crease. You might come to your knee, your shin, or your ankle, as always, whatever is available. And when it's time to come back up, bend the legs and push up with the strength of your legs. Carry that over to the other side, bending at the hip. Now softening the knee and pushing up back to the 5-point star and goddess. Stepping into center with a quarter moon in one direction and then the other. We'll let the moon set and finish back at heart center. Now that you're familiar with that, let's move through it again with a real focus on breath and sensation. Breathing in and out. And in and out. And in and out. And in and out. And in and out. In and out. Breathing in and out. And in and out. And in and out. Breathing in and out. In and out. And in and out. Now we've moved nearly everything. Let's do a little bit of standing warrior work. So let me move my chair a little further out of the way. And stepping to the back of your mat, or whatever suffices for your mat, let's move through Warrior 1 and Warrior 2. Angle the right foot and step the left foot forward, giving yourself a nice, stable, wide stance. As you breathe in, bend the forward leg, lifting the arms up into Warrior 1. Let's breathe in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and holding it. Now we'll breathe in and let the out breath turn the body so that the belly is facing out to the side. Then we'll turn the head to gaze out over the fingertips on your left-hand side. Warrior 2. Let's reverse warrior, reaching for the ceiling and back. Then we'll swing the upper body around, coming back to warrior one and releasing. Shake it out a little bit. Lots of, get rid of any tension that we unintentionally introduced, and then step to the back of your mat. We'll do the other side of the body. This time, angling the left foot and stepping the right foot forward. As you breathe in, finding your warrior one. This time, let's just hold it. Let's hold it for 2 or 3 breaths and really sense into the pose. Breathing in. Exhale, turning the upper body, head gazing out over the fingertips on the right-hand side, which is your bent knee side. Breathing in as we lift up into reverse warrior and back. Now turning the upper body to face back out over the knee in warrior one. And as you feel ready, releasing. Again, let's shake it out, loosen everything up. Now, something that's a little bit like warrior. Let's angle the right foot, step the left foot forward. We'll do a little bit of forward bending and a little bit of back bending. So your left leg is forward, your right foot is out behind you, angled to the side to give you stability. With your left foot forward, let's bend the body backward, leading with the right arm. You can breathe in and out of it as you feel ready. And coming back to where we started, our left leg is still extended forward. Let's breathe in, and we'll swan dive down over that extended leg. Maybe you'll be able to straighten the knee, or you might need to start with it bent. Be patient with whatever is available in your body right now. Taking a breath and relaxing down over the leg. And we'll bend that forward leg and push back up. Release. And we've bent sideways, we've bent backwards, and we've bent forwards. Let's do it on the other side of the body. Angling the left foot and stepping the right foot forward. We're going to work with the left arm. Breathing in, finding your back bend. You can breathe in and out of it. Noticing strength in the belly, controlling the weight of the head. You only have to go as far as your body is ready to go. And back. And for our final forward bend, let's breathe in, swan dive down, nose aiming in the general direction of the knee. Maybe noticing if things are different between one side of the body and the other side. That's a very common experience. Now let's bend that knee and push back up. And we'll get our chairs back and come back to a seated position. So come back to the chair. Take a moment to get settled. Sometimes it's nice to pause and just feel what's going on, to notice if things feel different than they did at the beginning. Most of the time, the contrast is a pleasant one. Let's do a little gentle chair twist, turning sideways in your chair, placing your hands on the back of the chair. Let's breathe in, straighten the spine, and as you exhale, do a gentle turn until you're facing toward your shoulder. You can stay there for a moment and breathe. It's a gentle twist. Then we'll unwind and come back to the place where we're facing forward. And let's do a little something to engage the core of the body again. So with hands at heart center, let's breathe in and extend the arms forward. As you exhale, lift the feet and lean back a little bit. Feel your belly engage. If you hold it for a breath or two, you'll begin to quiver. That's work for the core muscles. Then we'll breathe in, feet back to the floor, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward bend over the body. Inhale, lifting back up. And exhale back to center. Let's do that again. Breathing in and out. In and out. In and out. Now, with the knees together, let's turn the body as a unit around to the front and then around to face the other side. We'll do a gentle twist in this direction. Hands on the back of the chair. And I should say that if you have osteoporosis and you've had spinal fractures, this may be one that you don't want to do. Or do it very gently after you get some advice from your physician. Now with the hands on the back of the chair, let's breathe in, reach out through the crown of the head, and then with the exhale, slowly turn. Stay for a breath or two, just letting the body soften into the pose. And back. Twisting is really kind of a delicious experience for most people. It's a really good way to wring stress out of the body. And with hands at heart center, let's do a final repeat of the boat, Navasana, the boat. Breathing in, breathing out. Now breathing in, feet back to the floor. Exhale, body swinging down over the legs. And returning. And back to center. Taking the body as a unit back to face forward. Take a moment now to visit your insides and see if there's anything in your body that still seems to feel like it needs a movement. In my own body, it feels like the wrists are still a little bit stiff. Maybe it'll be something different for you. Yeah, I needed that. Now let's come back to the seated posture. And we'll do the Shavasana, the resting period that is traditional at the end of every practice. Since we're doing it in the chair, make sure you get in a good, stable position so that you can really relax without falling out. And if it feels okay for you, letting your eyes drift closed. Taking a look at the internal landscape. Letting go of all effort and simply resting. Nothing required but to sit and to breathe. And as we bring our practice to an end, maybe setting a resolution to treat our bodies and minds with kindness. Yoga and meditation are kind arts. We accept whatever limitations we find, whatever imperfections arise in the middle of the practice. Allowing ourselves to be dominated by something that feels calm and tranquil to the best of our ability. You can stay and rest for a while, or you can choose to open your eyes and come back to a more active way of being in the world. Letting the eyes drift open and bringing small movements back to the body, fingers and feet. Thank you for sharing practice today. It's always my privilege to practice with you. And I hope that you find the practice of yoga beneficial and that this is just the beginning of a long lifetime of yoga for you.